When you think of America's great family fortunes, names like Walton, Koch, and Mars probably come to mind. When you picture the titans of black wealth, you might think of Oprah, Jay-Z, or Robert F. Smith. And when you consider pillars of the Jewish American community, names like Bloomberg, Adelson, or Lauder are often at the forefront. But what if I told you there's a world of success that exists at the intersection of these stories? A world that has remained almost entirely unseen. These are the stories of some of America's most successful and influential people who share both Black and Jewish heritage. From groundbreaking artists to game-changing entrepreneurs, their paths are truly unique. Today, we uncover the fascinating and rarely seen world of 10 highly successful Black and Jewish individuals and their families. Welcome. The list you are about to see is unlike any other. It's a journey into a powerful intersection of culture, faith, and finance that isn't talked about nearly enough. The very concept of a Black Jewish identity challenges the neat boxes society often uses. But the reality, as history shows, is that Black and Jewish communities have intersected for centuries, creating a diverse lineage of people who navigate a dual heritage. Now, compiling a definitive ranked list of the richest is pretty much impossible. Serious wealth is often private, tied up in trusts, and spread across generations. More than that, for many people on this list, identity is a deeply personal journey. Some were born to parents of both Black and Jewish backgrounds, some discovered their Jewish ancestry later in life, and others chose to convert, embracing Judaism as their faith. So this countdown isn't just about dollars and cents. It's an exploration of influence, cultural impact, and incredible success. We're going to look at the lives of 10 extraordinary people who represent this powerful union. We'll examine their paths to fortune, how their unique background shaped their journey, and the legacies they are building. These aren't just stories of wealth, but of identity, perseverance, and the creation of a new American narrative. Let's begin. We begin our countdown with a figure that represents a different kind of richness, one of profound spiritual wealth that has translated into global influence. We're talking about the rapper and producer Nassim Black. While his net worth is estimated in the hundreds of thousands to low millions, his story of transformation is, in one word, priceless. Born Damian Jamal Black in Seattle, Washington, his beginnings were steeped in music. His parents were rappers, and his grandparents were musicians who played alongside legends like Ray Charles and Quincy Jones. He grew up in a Sunni Muslim household, but converted to Christianity as a teenager. As the rapper D Black, he found real success in the secular hip-hop world. He was on a clear path to mainstream stardom. But then he walked away. At the peak of his early career, he retired from music to focus on a new journey, his conversion to Orthodox Judaism. This was a complete reorientation of his life. He and his family moved first to Seattle's Seward Park community and then made Aliyah, moving to Jerusalem, Israel, where he now lives as a Breslov Hasidic Jew. When he returned to music as Nassim Black, his art was transformed. He pioneered a new genre, fusing his hardcore lyrical style with deep spiritual themes. Songs like Motherland Bounce have become global anthems, racking up millions of views online and introducing a new generation to Jewish themes through the powerful lens of hip-hop. His wealth isn't just measured in album sales, it's in his cultural capital. He's a bridge between worlds, Black and Jewish, secular and religious, America and Israel. Coming in at number 9 is a woman who burst into the Hollywood scene with an unstoppable force of comedic genius and raw authenticity. Tiffany Haddish, with an estimated net worth of around $6 million, has built an impressive brand as a comedian, actress, and best-selling author. But behind the laughter is a story of incredible hardship and a complex heritage she has only recently begun to fully embrace. Tiffany Haddish was born in south-central Los Angeles. Her mother was an African-American small business owner, and her father, Tataye Retta Haddish, was a refugee from Eritrea with Ethiopian Jewish heritage. Her father left when she was 3, and a tragic car accident later caused her mother severe brain damage, leading to a difficult home life. Tiffany and her siblings were eventually placed in foster care, a traumatic experience she has been unflinchingly open about. For years, her Jewish roots were a distant part of her story, but as an adult, she began a journey of reconnection, even traveling to Eritrea to connect with her relatives. This journey culminated in one of the most public and powerful affirmations of identity in recent memory. In 2019, on her 40th birthday, Tiffany Haddish held a bat mitzvah ceremony, formally and publicly embracing her Jewish faith. The event was a profound statement, celebrating her journey from foster care to stardom and from a fragmented history to a wholehearted embrace of her Black and Jewish identity. Her breakout role in the 2017 film Girls Trip made her a household name, and she's since won an Emmy and a Grammy. Her comedy album, titled Black Mitzvah, is a perfect example of her ability to weave her unique story into her art. At number 8, we have a towering figure from professional sports who dominated the basketball court for over a decade, Amar'e Stoudemire. With a net worth estimated at $70 million, his fortune was built on raw athletic power and lucrative contracts. His journey to the intersection of Black and Jewish identity, however, is one of the most fascinating on our list. Born in Lake Wales, Florida, Stoudemire's early life was marked by instability. Still, his undeniable talent led him to be drafted into the NBA straight from high school in 2002. He was an immediate sensation, winning NBA Rookie of the Year. Over a 14-year career with teams like the Phoenix Suns and the New York Knicks, he became a 6-time All-Star and earned over $167 million in salary alone. His connection to his Jewish heritage was a gradual awakening. He grew up with some awareness of being a Hebrew Israelite through his mother's side, a belief system that connects Black people to the ancient Israelites. This interest led him on a spiritual quest. He took trips to Israel, began studying the language and history, and started observing Jewish customs. This wasn't just a passing interest. After his NBA career, Stoudemire moved to Israel to play for Hapoel Jerusalem, a team he co-owned. His journey deepened, and in August 2020, he formally converted to Orthodox Judaism in a rabbinical court, adopting the Hebrew name Yehoshaphat ben Avraham. Now a player development coach for the Brooklyn Nets, Stoudemire's legacy bridges the world of elite American sports with the ancient traditions of Judaism. Our 7th entry represents a new kind of success, one built on digital innovation and creating a powerful voice for a generation. Meet Aaron Samuels, the co-founder and COO of Blavity, a media company that has become a cornerstone of Black millennial culture. As a Forbes 30 Under 30 honoree, Samuel's influence and financial success are undeniable, with Blavity having raised millions in venture capital. His story is one of intersectionality from birth. He was born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island, to a Black father and a Jewish mother. He has said that this early exposure to different communities was the direct inspiration for his work as a writer, spoken word artist, and entrepreneur. His identity wasn't a source of confusion, but a wellspring of creativity. He even published a book of poetry titled Yarmulkes and Fitted Caps, perfectly encapsulating the dual heritage he embodies. His origin of influence is a classic startup story. He saw a void and filled it. He and his co-founders launched Blavity in 2014 as a media company for Black millennials by Black millennials. It quickly became the go-to source for news and culture for a demographic often overlooked by mainstream media. Blavity Inc. isn't just a website, it's an ecosystem that includes brands like Travel Noir for Black travelers and Afrotech, the largest tech conference for Black innovators in the United States. Afrotech has become a vital hub for networking and venture capital, effectively building a new pipeline for Black wealth and innovation. At number 6, we enter the world of literary giants. Walter Mosley is one of the most celebrated American authors of his generation, a master of crime fiction and a powerful commentator on race and society. With over 60 books to his name and a net worth in the millions, his wealth comes from a career of brilliant storytelling that has captivated readers worldwide. Born in Los Angeles, California, Mosley's heritage is a rich tapestry of American history. His father was a Black man from Louisiana and a veteran of the segregated army of World War II. His mother was of Russian Jewish descent. Their interracial marriage in the 1950s was a radical act, and Mosley grew up in a household that was a vibrant cultural crossroads. He has said that this dual heritage was fundamental to his worldview, giving him a unique lens to observe the complexities of American life. Mosley's path to literary stardom wasn't immediate. He worked as a computer programmer for years before a professor encouraged his writing, telling him, "You're black, Jewish, with a poor background. There's a wealth of information there." That turned out to be a profound understatement. His breakout came in 1990 with Devil in a Blue Dress, which introduced his most famous character, Easy Rallins. The series became a massive commercial and critical success. Mosley's fortune was built word by word, book by book. His legacy is a powerful reminder that wealth can be built from the power of the pen, and that the richest stories often come from unique intersections of identity. Entering our top 5, we arrive at a family that represents Hollywood royalty. The Jones-Lipton family, anchored by the immense legacies of music producer Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton, and carried on by their talented daughters Rashida and Kidada Jones. Quincy Jones' net worth alone is estimated at a staggering $500 million, making this a true artistic and financial dynasty. This family story begins with the union of two cultural powerhouses. Quincy Jones, an African-American icon and one of the most influential producers of all time, shaped the sound of modern music, working with everyone from Frank Sinatra to Michael Jackson. Peggy Lipton, from an Ashkenazi Jewish family, was a Golden Globe-winning actress and a star of the trailblazing TV show The Mod Squad. Their marriage in 1974 was a high-profile union that brought together two different worlds of fame and heritage. Their daughters, Kidada and Rashida, grew up in this extraordinary intersection. Rashida has spoken openly about navigating her dual identity, having been raised Jewish and attending Hebrew school. After feeling like an outsider at times, she reconnected with her Jewish roots in high school. That background gave her a unique perspective that she has carried into her own incredibly successful career. A Harvard graduate, Rashida Jones is now a force in Hollywood in her own right. She's celebrated for her roles in shows like The Office and Parks and Recreation, but she's also a writer, producer, and director, even winning a Grammy for the documentary she co-wrote about her father. At number 4, we find a family that has defined cool for over 30 decades. The Bonet-Kravitz clan is a dynasty of artists whose collective influence on culture is immeasurable. Their financial portfolio is just as impressive, with Lenny Kravitz's net worth estimated at $90 million, making this a true artistic and financial dynasty. The family's story is rooted in a remarkable symmetry of heritage. Both Lenny Kravitz and Lisa Bonet come from half-black, half-Jewish backgrounds. Lisa's mother was a Jewish school teacher, and her father was an African-American opera singer. Similarly, Lenny's father, Cy Kravitz, was a Russian-Jewish television news producer, and his mother, Roxy Roker, was the beloved Bahamian-American actress famous for her role on The Jeffersons. When they emerged in the late 1980s, they were a cultural phenomenon. Lisa Bonet was the icon of effortless cool on The Cosby Show, while Lenny Kravitz was reinventing rock and roll with his debut album, Let Love Rule. Their daughter, Zoe Kravitz, was born directly into this incredible legacy. Zoe has spoken about growing up acutely aware of this dual history, telling Elle magazine, "Jews and African Americans have had so much pain, carried so much on their shoulders, and come so far." She identifies as a secular Jew and has masterfully built upon her parents' legacy. She's now a major star with roles in Big Little Lies and as Catwoman in The Batman, becoming a fashion icon and director in her own right. The family's success is a diversified portfolio of artistry, with Lenny having sold over 40 million albums, and Zoe now one of Hollywood's most sought-after actresses. Breaking into our top 3 is a global superstar who has redefined modern pop music. Amala Ratna Zandile Dilami, known to the world as Doja Cat, has built a massive fortune in a remarkably short time, with a net worth estimated in the tens of millions that is climbing fast. She represents the pinnacle of new money success in the modern music industry. Her heritage is as eclectic as her music. She was born in Los Angeles to a Jewish-American mother, Deborah Elizabeth Sawyer, who is a painter, and a South African father, Dumisani Delamy, an actor and composer. She has described her mother as a hip-hop head who exposed her to a wide range of music that laid the foundation for her chameleonic style. Her rise to fame was explosive. She first gained attention on SoundCloud before her 2018 song, Moo, became a viral internet meme. What some saw as a novelty was really a Trojan horse showcasing her wit and melodic talent. She quickly proved she was no one-hit wonder. Her album Planet Her was a global blockbuster, spawning a string of hits like Kiss Me More.
Need to know, she has dominated streaming platforms, sold out arenas, and become a fixture at the top of the charts. Her wealth is a direct result of this massive commercial success. She stands on the shoulders of her parents' artistic backgrounds, a powerful combination of Black and Jewish heritage that has given rise to one of the most exciting artists of her generation. Our runner-up is a family whose name is synonymous with genius, controversy, and revolutionary art. This is the Pryor family, headed by the incomparable comedic legend Richard Pryor and carried on by his talented daughter, Rain Pryor. Richard Pryor's estate, estimated to be worth around $40 million at the time of his passing, forms the foundation of this family's cultural and financial legacy. Rain has since built her own successful career as an actress, singer, and comedian. This family's Black-Jewish intersection comes from Richard Pryor's marriage to Shelley Bonus, a Jewish go-go dancer. Their daughter Rain was born into this complex and often turbulent union. Her parents divorced when she was just 6 months old, and she was raised primarily by her Jewish mother and grandparents, her Bubba and Zaidi. She grew up deeply immersed in Jewish culture while navigating the towering and often chaotic legacy of her Black father. This dual upbringing became the very core of her artistic identity. She has spoken about the challenges and richness of being Black and Jewish, and instead of shying away from it, she turned this experience into art. Her award-winning one-woman show is titled Fried Chicken and Latkes. The title itself is a brilliant, poignant, and comedic encapsulation of her life story. Rain Pryor has built her own successful career on stage and screen, starring in TV shows like Head of the Class and performing her show to critical acclaim. She honors both sides of her heritage, celebrating her Jewish traditions while fearlessly engaging with the complexities of her father's legacy. And now, at number 1, we have an artist who has not only dominated the music industry for over a decade, but has become a global cultural phenomenon and a business titan. Aubrey Drake Graham, known simply as Drake, sits at the pinnacle of this list. With a staggering net worth estimated between $250 million and $400 million, Drake represents the most influential and financially successful Black Jewish person in modern America. Drake's story is rooted in Toronto, Canada. He was born to Sandy Graham, a Canadian of Ashkenazi Jewish descent who worked as an English teacher, and Dennis Graham, an African-American drummer from Memphis who played with music legend Jerry Lee Lewis. Raised by his mother in Toronto's predominantly Jewish Forest Hill neighborhood, his upbringing was deeply embedded in Jewish life. He attended a Jewish day school and had a bar mitzvah at age 13. He has spoken about being bullied for his biracial and Jewish background, but this experience of navigating different worlds would become a cornerstone of his artistic persona. He began his career as an actor on Degrassi: The Next Generation before launching his music career with mixtapes like So Far Gone. His success was meteoric. He's unleashed a string of #1 albums and now has more top 10 hits than any artist in history. But Drake's wealth goes far beyond music. He is a business mogul. He co-founded the OVO Sound record label. His OVO clothing line is a massive success, and he has signed mega deals with brands like Apple and Nike, plus a colossal deal with Universal Music Group, rumored to be worth as much as $400 million. Drake has consistently and proudly referenced his heritage, famously reenacting his bar mitzvah in the HYFR music video. He is arguably the most famous Black Jewish person in the world, and he has used his unparalleled platform to make that identity a visible and celebrated part of mainstream culture. From the spiritual wealth of Nassim Black to the global empire of Drake, the stories of these 10 individuals paint a vivid picture of a unique corner of the American experience. Their journeys are as diverse as their successes. We've seen wealth built from literary genius, athletic domination, digital innovation, and the masterful command of a stage or screen. Yet a common thread runs through every story: the power of intersectionality. For each person on this list, their dual Black and Jewish heritage wasn't a footnote, it was a central part of their narrative. For some, it provided a unique perspective that fueled their creativity. For others, it was a source of resilience, drawing on a history of perseverance from two communities that have faced immense challenges. And for many, it became the very story that the world was waiting to hear. These individuals challenge our preconceived notions of wealth, race, and religion. They show us that identity isn't a monolithic concept, but a rich and complex tapestry. Their success demonstrates that the most compelling legacies are often forged not in spite of our differences, but because of them. They are not just Black success stories or Jewish success stories. They are American success stories, in the truest sense. These are the stories we were able to uncover, but countless others remain untold. Which of these journeys resonated with you the most? And who else do you think belongs on this list? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this journey as fascinating as we did, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the unseen worlds of wealth and culture. Thanks for watching.